Hi everyone, my name is Chloe and welcome to the DNF Book Tag. So I was tagged by Rachel from It's Rachel C. If you guys aren't subscribed to her, at the time of filming she has 98 subscribers and she is so wonderful. I really enjoy her. She's a very sweet girl, talks about a variety of books, so definitely go check her out. I will link her down below as well as the original, and let's just get into it. So the first question is, do you DNF? Rarely. Rarely. I hate it. And you guys, we've talked about it in other videos, in the comments and things. I hate to DNF just because I hate giving up on a book. I always think like maybe this will get better, or maybe it'll have something that I can pull from it. Or it's also just kind of like a completionist thing. If I'm going to start it, I want to finish it, because then what do? Do I mark it on Goodreads? Do I not? What do I do? It's just easier to finish it. And so very rarely. The only times I really do is if I'm like, for sure this writing style is not good. No matter how great the content, I'm not going to enjoy it because of the writing style. That's really the only time that I do. Question 2. If you do DNF, does it count for your finished books for the month? I don't know. This is why I don't really do it, because I don't know. Should it? Should it not? I say if I get more than halfway through, well, no, I would say no, it probably doesn't count towards the books at the end of the month. However, well, let me see what the questions are, because, okay. However, I do think if you read more than half of it, you can rate it on Goodreads. You can do whatever you want. It's your Goodreads. I don't care what you do, but I feel like if I read half or more, I can rate it. If I read less than half, then I didn't give it enough of a shot. I think that's what I'm going to go with. Then number 3, is there a difference between DNF and just putting it down for a little bit? Absolutely. So I have started and put down books many times before, especially if I'm physically reading them and I'm like, this just isn't grabbing me. I need to either wait until I can get it digitally, or I need to wait until something else. Like, yes, I will definitely wait on books. That being said, I have books on my shelves that are like 10 years old, so maybe they actually are DNFs, but as far as what I tell myself, no, I'm just setting it down for a little bit. And then it's like I'm not quitting on it. So I am more able to make peace with that, I guess. Number 4, what popular books have you DNF'd? Homegoing by Yagasi. That one I'm sure is great. I just could not get into the writing style and the font. The book I had, the font was tiny and the pages were like, the margins were pretty much non-existent, and I was like, there's just no way. I read like 10 pages and was like, I'm too distracted by the format to even care about the content, and so I DNF'd that one. Second Glance by Jodi Picoult is another one that I DNF'd. And that one, like, I love Jodi Picoult. And so I was shocked. And then I went and ended up just like Googling spoilers. And it was just such a twisty, weird, like not twisty in a good way, but like overly complicated, weird, nonsensical book that I was shocked to DNF a Jodi Picoult, but I did. Let's see. What are some books you wish you DNF'd? Water for Elephants. I can't remember who that's by, but that one I read when I was in MD Anderson with my mom, so that could be part of it, but it just, like, it's about a circus, and I can't even really remember what else. It's this boy that goes and joins this circus, and it's so much the dirty side of the circus, and I don't know, maybe I would like it more if I reread it, but it just felt slow and overly dirty, which I know Circus Life maybe is dirty, but I wish I would have DNF'd that because I really slogged through it. You by Carolyn Kepnes. That one is another controversial one. I just was waiting like for the creep factor, and it just didn't come. And again, I think maybe if I would have read it in a different format, like maybe on audio, then I would have liked it better, but I don't know. And like I kept waiting for Joe to do something super crazy, but it was just kind of slow watching her. So let's see, I wrote down some other ones. If I Never Met You by Vari McFarlane. I read that one for the booktubeathon, Reading Rush is what it's called, for the Reading Rush group book, and then they didn't end up like talking about it, so I read it anyway, and I just didn't like it. It was this girl getting over a guy and getting over a breakup that was definitely very like, she was with him for like half of his life, or half of her life, but it was just slow and boring, and I did not like that at all. Next, have you ever reattempted to read a DNF, and was it successful for you? So yes, like I said, it's not a DNF to me. It's just like I set it down for later, and I will then pick it back up. A couple of them, not always, like a couple of them I will be like, okay, I didn't want to pick this up, and here's why. Like, I still don't want to pick it up. I gave it my best shot. Adios. Normally, I would say actually that's what happens. I would not say that if I start something and don't love it and set it down, then the chances of me like actually loving it are slim to none. So that being said, why don't I just let it go from the beginning? Why do I continue to waste my time? I don't know. I can't, like, that's just the way my mind works. I don't even know. What do you do with DNF'd books? I unhaul them. So I just, every month, if you've seen, I do in and outs where I bring new stuff in and get old stuff out. And with my unhauls, I normally just take them to the little free library because I think that is such a great resource for so many people. So I love taking books there. If they're super popular, super high quality, I'll take them either to our local bookstore or I'll try to swap them on Facebook groups or whatever. But for the most part, I take them to the little free library. Next is, do you choose more or less risky books based on your DNF policy? I would say less risky. Because I know that chances are I'm gonna finish it even if I hate it. I don't take a whole lot of risk, but if I can get it digitally, especially on audio, then I'll be more risky because I mean, you can always speed it up, and if it's terrible, it's not as much of your time. Especially my physical reading time is kind of limited. My focus is just limited. I have a really hard time reading unless like the situation is perfect, because otherwise there's kids and there's things to like constantly have my eye on. So physically reading, I'm way less risky, but if I can get it on audio, I'll take a little more risk. Then the last question is just tag 5 other booktubers, and I'm not going to do that because I know this tag has gone around and around and around. So if you have not done this tag, please do, and if you don't have a channel, please let me know your answers down below. I think these things are so interesting, just knowing like how people tick. And I would say like I think my reading life would be better if I DNF'd more, but I just can't do it, especially as I look. Like, I've got 2 shelves here full of books that are my physical TBR, and some of them I have passed by for years, you guys, and yet I don't want to pick them up and DNF them and let them go without like finishing them out. So let me know your DNF policy. I also want to know what's your policy on rating things or counting them, because I clearly don't have like a firm stance on that. And like I said, I don't care what you do. I mean, I want to hear what you do, but I'm not going to tell you you're wrong regardless of how you do it, because it's your Goodreads. I don't really care. But I'm really curious, like, help me establish my policy, especially as I work to get better at DNFing. Maybe that'll be my New Year's resolution. DNF more. Maybe. I don't know. So let me know what you do. Let me know anything you want to in the comments. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.